Alright everyone, we have a new cultural fracas that we have to contend with from the cringe fringe social justice warrior idpol left. But first, of course, daily announcement, I am shadow banned on YouTube, which means they're trying to keep people from interacting with my content by driving it to mainstream competitors. They've literally openly bragged about this at this point, so not exactly a conspiracy. If you're going to watch me on YouTube, I would like it if you would share out the link of this video. Some other platform that's, still searchable and not completely manipulated to shit. Doesn't matter where, and also there will be links in the description and also a pinned comment on YouTube to 4 other video sites that I use. You can find me there uninhibited, BitChute, Dailymotion, Rumble, and Odyssey. All 4 of them are quite good. But we gotta talk about the Jill Biden thing. Oh wait, Dr. Jill Biden. She's a doctor in the same sense that Joe Biden is a legitimately elected political official. You see what I did there. She has a doctorate in English. Technically speaking, this makes her Dr. Jill Biden. Most people, when they affix doctor to the beginning of a name, what they really mean is medical doctor. It's generally used in a medical context. I note, the people crying sexism right now, because she happens to be female, number one, they never call him Dr. Rand Paul. Rand Paul is a literal medical doctor, does eye surgeries, is actually a skilled physician. He never gets that affixed to the beginning of his name when he's being referred to in a political context. That's number one. And number two, I noticed that a lot of these same people had nothing nice to say about Melania Trump for 4 years. Where were their cries of sexism then? When Melania Trump was called a whore for having done porn, the porn shoots, softcore, she was called a gold digger. People lied about her marriage with Donald Trump, claimed she was a battered wife, and at the same time that she was a frigid ice queen. They ignore her degree, I believe, in architecture, so, she studied actual engineering to an extent, speaks, 4 or 5 languages. They ignore all that. They ignore everything about her in a positive context. If she speaks, they mock her accent. If she doesn't speak, they mock the fact that she's an absentee first lady. When she talks, they spin everything she says, like her private grievances there that she was talking on the phone with, I can't remember who, a friend of hers, and it got leaked out, talking about how she fucking hated Christmas, and they tried to insinuate that she's like a Grinch when she was actually literally referring to media spin and the fact that no matter what she did, if the decorations are too big and extravagant, they complain. If they're not enough, they complain. If she's the hostess with the mostest, they complain. She's being imperialistic. If she sort of sits in the corner, she's being frigid. This happened for 4 fucking goddamn years with Melania Trump. She was completely disrespected by virtually the entire mass media. She was completely disrespected by even self-proclaimed feminist leftists. Constantly. But now, Jill Biden, the Asterisk First Lady Unelect, not even an elected official, we have to refer to her as doctor because she studied English. I'm sorry, the fact that a person read a bunch of books and analyzed them the way that a professor wanted them to analyze them from a very cut and dry cookie cutter perspective does not mean a person is a doctor. If you think she's a doctor in the legitimate sense, and when you use that term, people generally speaking will assume you mean a medical one, why isn't she the one? Is she going to give out vaccines to people on Capitol Hill? It's not sexism. This happens to men too. It's like when people criticize Hillary Clinton, all of the left is, oh my god, you're being sexist towards her. Well, no, you can be critical of a man, too. Does that make you sexist if you happen to have the opposite genitals? And by the way, I thought womanhood wasn't a thing anymore. J.K. Rowling gets crucified for thinking that gender even exists outside of a constructed basis, so who the fucking gives a shit? Maybe Jill Biden is secretly a man trapped in a woman's body. It would be Dr. Joe Biden. Change his or her name. The identity politics thing stops making sense. It stopped making sense long ago because it becomes self-refuting. And by the way, I think, isn't Biden trying to tap that, what was it? I can't remember, the climber or something, that transgendered individual as some sort of position right now, despite no qualifications, and how funny it is. And Pete Buttigieg, by the way, transportation secretary. A man with, if I remember correctly, 2 to 4 years of experience as the mayor of Nowheresville. By the way, a person deeply disliked, and I don't even exactly know why, among Democrats. Apparently, Buttigieg is disliked by the average Democrat. I don't know why. He rubs them the wrong way somehow. Pun not entirely intended there. As far as the identity politics of the social justice warriors, no, I'm not going to go out of my way to say Dr. Jill Biden. because people might mistake that for me claiming that she's a medical professional. PhD Jill Biden, I mean, it's just obtuse. There's no point to it. She's First Lady Jill Biden as of January 20th. By the way, that will happen. When people, by the way, are talking about these competing electors, you're getting it wrong, because the bill that you're circulating, as though it's still in legal action, was superseded decades later. It ain't gonna happen, dude. SCOTUS could still get involved, but, you know, time is running out, so to speak. We won't even get into that, though. A lot of people would rather be in the trust the plan echo chamber. At some point, you gotta let go, dude. You gotta live in reality. Jill Biden is just Jill Biden. Unelected official. First Lady is a largely symbolic sort of fixture within the White House anyway. And this is why I got pissed, really, when they're crucifying Melania Trump. Because she's not even an elected official. She just happens to be married to a person who got elected. You don't need to rake her over the coals. They did this to Michelle Obama occasionally. People would talk about the way she looked, what she dressed like, and stuff like that. It's like, this person doesn't have any real doctrinal power. Is just the spouse of an individual who you happen to dislike for political purposes. The only difference there is, I would say, that there were actual proposals that Michelle Obama made that could be criticized, like the school lunch fiasco. Whereas Melania Trump, because of the crucifixion of her character, really took a back seat and was virtually absent for 4 years. Said, well, you know, I'm not going to deal with this shit. I fucking hate these people, and I want to raise my son. By the way, that's to her great credit. It's too bad that we didn't get to see more of you know, one of the best first ladies, actually, we've had, by proxy, oddly enough, in a juxtaposition of the fact that she didn't do much. Because it's not, again, it's not a doctrinal position. The first lady really shouldn't be making any policies, to tell the truth. It's not really necessary. Not actually elected. You have to go through the normal procedures and stuff, and it's just a little bit weird in some ways. If you have an activist first spouse, it could be a little bit weird. We saw this with Michelle Obama, to a little extent with Laura Bush. Not quite as much. Her thing was more like educational shit, pro-reading and stuff like that. I mean, I know it's nice, it's kind of comfy and fluffy and stuff, but come on. It's a bunch of human interest story stuff. Literally, though, it's exactly the same people. If you don't call her Dr. Jill Biden, you're a horrendous sexist. But if you crucify Melania Trump for something she did 20 years ago, that's perfectly okay. Or insinuate that her son has autism or whatever they did, and totally attack Trump's family, including members of the family have nothing whatsoever to do with politics, and even, in some cases, actively avoid it. That's not atrocious. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly fine. But Jill Biden is beyond reproach, and you're going to see this for the next 4 years. You're going to see nothing but kid glove handling fluff pieces about Biden, about his family. You'll see nothing about Hunter Biden, and I'm sure he'll be up to weird shit in the White House. He'll be having orgies in the White House. You'll see nothing about Jill Biden that isn't, oh, how cute she is. Look, she's playing a snowball fight with her dogs or something like that. And you're going to hear a lot about Joe Biden's socks and what music he likes. It's going to be like the Obama administration. It'll be fucking horse shit. There's not going to be any real journalism coming out of the lame stream. Why do you think they're trying to throttle independent commentary right now on YouTube and on Twitter? They don't want people knowing the truth. They don't want anyone asking hard questions. It becomes inconvenient. That's about all. Peace out.